You won't miss them. I'm going to put a pair of parentheses just around the letter X. Notice that the negative sign is on the outside. Notice that the square is on the outside. Then I'm going to put a set of parentheses around this X. Now I'm going to plug -3 inside both of those parentheses. So I'm going to have this negative right here is outside the parentheses. Then inside the parentheses I'm going to put a -3 because that's what it told me to put there. There's a square on that. Minus 4. I have another set of parentheses in place of that X, and I'm going to put a -3 in it. Minus 4. Now I can put all of that into my calculator. Negative, parentheses, -3, close the parentheses and square it, minus 4, parentheses, -3, minus 4. When I press equals, it all comes out to be -1. Now on number 4, same thing. Everywhere there's an X, I'm going to put parentheses just around the letter X. Not around the minus sign, not around the exponent, just around the letter X. And then I'm going to plug a -3 in every one of those sets of parentheses. So here's what it's going to look like. -2, -3 in the parentheses with a third power, minus -3 inside this set of parentheses squared, plus 5 and -3 inside that set of parentheses. Now I'm going to promise you, if you will use the parentheses like I just showed you, you will get it right. And if you don't use the parentheses, you will probably get it wrong. Now let's look at what this calculator does with this exponent. You need to learn how to do these exponents on the calculator. Now I'm going to have to zoom out again so that we can see what I wrote and what we put on the calculator at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to put in -2, parentheses, -3. Now to raise that to the third power, I have to use this button over here called the caret button. I'm going to raise that to the third power. Now this calculator is set up with a new operating system, and if you'll notice there's a little arrow blinking right there by the little 3. If I keep on typing without paying attention, watch what happens. Minus, do you see where that minus went? It went up there in the exponent. I don't want the minus in the exponent, so I'm going to arrow back over on top of that minus sign and delete that. Now if I want to go back to making regular numbers, I have to hit the right arrow button to get out of the exponent. So I'm going to hit this right arrow button. It gets me out of the exponent and back into the regular numbers. So I'm right here, minus, parentheses, -3, parentheses, and I can do a square 2 ways. I can either hit this x squared button over here, or I can do the caret raised to the second power. If I do the x squared button, it doesn't stay up in the exponent. It just stays in the regular numbers. But if you use the caret, you have to remember to come back down. Plus 5, parentheses, -3. And when I press enter, all of that gives me a total of 30. Okay, number 5 just shows you a different way of writing this problem. It says evaluate u plus xy for u equals 18, x equals 10, and y equals 8. So once again, I'm going to put parentheses around all of these variables. In place of the u, I'm going to put an 18. In place of the x, I'm going to put a 10. And in place of the y, I'm going to put an 8. And if I plug that in the calculator, it's going to give me the correct answer. So I'm going to go parentheses 18 plus parentheses 10. Then no symbol there, just another set of parentheses with 8 inside. Press enter, and it gives me the answer, 98. Okay, now You need to go ahead and finish all the rest of the worksheet on your own.